What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another video. Now today I'll be sharing a recipe for this eggless fruit cake. This one was highly requested, and today I'm just going to show you so you can enjoy your Christmas cake if you don't eat eggs. Let's get started. Here I have some all-purpose flour. I have my fruits already puree. I'll show you how I do that in a bit. For my egg substitute, I'll be using some applesauce. I have some browning. Over here I have some sugar. I have some butter, some vanilla, and I have some mixed spice, baking powder, and salt. Now here is the mixed spice that I use, but if you don't have this mixed spice, go ahead and combine half a teaspoon of your favorite spices. Now I'm going to go ahead and puree my fruits. I won't be using all of this fruit here. I'm just going to puree and then I'll measure out the amount I'll be using. So this fruit has been soaking for a while and I have a recipe on how I do so. So my fruits is ready. So I'm just going to go ahead and puree this to the consistency that I am looking for. You could puree it as smooth or as chunky as you like. It doesn't really matter. It's up to you to how you like your fruits in your cake. I like mine on the semi-smooth side, not too smooth and not too chunky, just in the middle. Now here's the consistency that I am looking for. Now I'm just going to go ahead and start baking the cake. So in my mixer I went in with some softened butter and the sugar, and I'm going to go ahead and cream this until it's nice and fluffy. A full measurement of all I'm using here for this particular size will be listed down in the description box. If you want, you can go ahead and double it. Now I'm just going to go ahead and cream the butter and sugar until it's nice and fluffy and has a pale consistency looking. So this is what you want your butter and your sugar pitch looking like, just like this. You want to go ahead and scrape down the sides of the bowl and mix again until you achieve the desired consistency that we are looking for. This step took me about 5 to 10 minutes. Now I'm just going to go ahead and add my applesauce in, and as I mentioned, this is my egg substitute, and I'm going to go ahead and add the fruits to the mix. Now I'm going to go ahead and add the vanilla. I'm going to go ahead and mix this to combine. Now that this is nice and mixed together, I'm just going to remove the paddle and I'm going to use my spatula to continue mixing. Of course, you could transfer this to a mixing bowl, but hey, the less clean up, the better. I'll be mixing it in my mixing bowl. So to my flour, I went in with my spice, my baking powder and salt, and I'm going to go give it a good whisk to combine the leavening agent and the spices throughout the flour because we want an even rise. Even though this fruit cake will not rise much because of the fruit in it, we still want to distribute it properly. So I'm just going to go ahead and fold in my flour mixture in small amount until everything is fully combined. You don't want to dump it all in at once, and you don't really want to over mix. You want to keep it light. And as I mentioned before, the full written recipe will be down below. You could double if you like. I'm just going to go ahead and add the remainder of my flour and mix well to combine. You want to cut and fold. You want a cut and fold action. It may look a little bit fast, but you want to cut and fold. You don't really want to be stirring because you don't want to develop the gluten in the flour so you'll have a more dense cake. It's already a dense cake, so you don't want to add to that dense texture. You just want to mix lightly. Now for the browning, here I'm going to add my browning. You add your browning according to the color of your cake. I don't like my own too dark. I like it just in between. I don't like it too light. The flour, you don't want to mix until the flour is hard. You just want to mix and just add your browning last step. The browning should be the last thing you add, so that way you could see the color and texture of the cake. Now my cake is nice and mixed. I'm going to go ahead and grease a baking pan. This is the size I'm using. This is the perfect size for the amount that I'm making. I went in with my butter paper. This is what my grandmother used to use. And I'm just going to use it to grease the pan well. Of course, you could line with a parchment paper to be on the safe side, but this works just fine for me. Now I'm just going to go ahead and pour my cake batter into the pan, and I'm going to level it off. At this point, when I added the batter, it might look a little bit too much to you, but it's perfect because of the fruits. It's going to rise and then it's going to go back down. So if you want a nice size cake, you want to make sure you add just enough in the pan. So here I am smoothing the top out, and I'm just going to tap it on the countertop just to level it off a bit and get rid of any air pocket that might have been in it. Now my oven is being preheated to 225 degrees, and I have a water bath inside, and I'm going to bake this. I bake this for about an hour and 40 minutes. Low and slow is what you're looking for. After 1 hour and 40 minutes, this is what the cake is looking like. Here I have some rum and wine in my spray bottle, and I'm just going to go ahead and spritz the cake well and allow this to cool down completely before I remove it from the pan. And at this point, it is smelling amazing and fragrant up in here. Listen to me, man. This is my favorite time of year because the aroma is nose blinding. Now my cake is out of the pan. I'm just going to go ahead and show you what it's looking like. The texture was divine. This one, I think this one is on one of my favorite. I'm not allergic to eggs, but this might just be my new favorite go-to cake. I'm going to go ahead and cut you a slice, and let me tell you, the texture of this was something to talk about. It's like a wedding cake like consistency. I devour the slice that I cut. Yes, guys, that's it, my beautiful people. I thank you so much for watching. If you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, go ahead, hit the subscribe button, hit the follow button, leave me a comment, and give me a big thumbs up, and also share this recipe.